morning, Vicky here with you, and I wanted to share with you this journal, this junk journal, before I send it out. It's a junk journal that is made for the junk journal group, and the goal of this was to make whatever type of junk journal we wanted to make. Now, my partner for this is actually a guy. This is the first time I do a swap with a guy, so I was very excited about that. And to top it off, he lives in the province of Quebec, Canada, so he speaks French, and so he's not that far. And he gave me a challenge. Basically, we got in touch with each other and we gave each other challenges. So my challenge to him was to make a journal that was cute, and that was, you know, from the 80s and 90s type of inspiration. So I don't know what he's making, but in his case, his challenge was to make a journal that would make him think about stuff, so ponder about certain items. So I thought long and hard, and I did a lot of research online to find some stuff that would make him think and that he could write about afterwards. And to make this, I decided to use my sociology book from CJEP, because to me sociology is, you know, thinking about the human population and how we work and stuff. So I thought this would be fitting. I was surprised because when I took apart this book, I thought it was sewn in, because it had this the type of binding that usually is sewn in, except that it really wasn't. It was glued in, part of it. Therefore, when I removed it, some of the spine was very fragile from it. So I put some duct tape, and I've made 3 signatures, and you can see the stitching. It's not straight, but it doesn't matter. I left the back as it is, and at the front I put point réflexion, so things to ponder, and I'll do a flip through. So the goal was to make a junk journal. So to me, a junk journal is really about junk and stuff that you would throw away. And as you know, I love using envelopes, so that was a starting point. Here on this, I used one of the pages from the book. It's obviously sociology, and I thought it was fitting. It was fun because it says resocialization involves exposure to ideas and values that conflict with those learned in childhood. In this scene in the film An Officer and a Gentleman, the new recruits are about to experience the culture and values of the army. So I thought that could be a start for the book. He, by the way, can speak and write in English, so that won't be a problem. I already asked him, and thank God, because a lot of the stuff that I found was all in English. So I put the envelopes to make the signatures. When it was a dark background like this, either I put an image or I put something that he could write on. So here is what if rocks are actually soft but tense up when we touch them. So I thought that was cool. And this is the National Geographic come in, this paper. So I thought it was fun. I've put in a little cartoon just for the fun of it. Here is, we built an atomic bomb 20 years before we had color television. So I thought that was an interesting fact. So you can write here and write there as well as here. This one is, every year we pass the anniversary of our death without knowing. I thought that was like super strange because I never thought about that. But it's true. One day we'll die, and that day we pass it you know, if it's March 15, well, we pass on March 15th every year. So here I've used one of those paint books, the chipboard, and I've covered it with that. I had some book paper that had been stained with coffee. Then I have this, Monsters of the Urban Unconscious. So I used an image that I thought was fitting, and you can write whatever it is, whatever it means to him. And more here. Outer space is only an hour's drive away if you could drive straight up. So that to me is pretty amazing as well. I've used some file folders, and since they're blue, you can still write on them. But I did include some paper on some, but not on all. You can actually use other stuff too. If you repeat lie often enough, it becomes truth. Well, the truth is crossed over and it puts politics. And yeah, we do tend to hear a lot of lies in politics. Here, this guy is saying that it's 4 sticks, and this one is saying 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's the illusion of. So basically, our truth might not be the only truth. That's what I was thinking. Here is, if a man has a house stacked to the ceiling with newspaper, we call him crazy. If a woman has a trailer house full of cats, we call her nuts. When people pathologically hoard so much cash that they impoverish others, we put them on the cover of Fortune magazine and pretend that they're role models. Thought that was pretty neat, and it's true. When somebody's rich, we tend to think that this is amazing, but it's money shouldn't be the only thing we're looking after. Here I had this book about this with the stupidest sign ever, and I thought this could give him some inspiration on how stupid sometimes we can be. So there's all kinds of different sayings, like genuine faux pearl in a jewelry store. I don't understand. On a matchbox, caution me, the contents may catch fire. No kidding. On a British military base, restricted to unauthorized personnel. I think somebody didn't reread themselves. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. Here, open 7 days a week and weekend. Really? Thank God you're open on weekend on the 7-day week. Parking for a drive-through service only. Yeah, somehow I didn't think you could park there. Rare, out-of-print, and non-existent book. Non-existent book must be really rare. So, anyway, thought that was fun. So you can write a bit about that. And then here, profitez pleinement du temps qui passe. Voilà une vraie source de bonheur. So, really enjoying the time that's passing. That's a real source of happiness. And so I thought, you could reflect on that. There's a few here. 100 years from now, Facebook is going to be full of dead people. That's something I hadn't thought about. At some point, you will be the next person on Earth to die. I know, it's creepy thoughts, but it's still true and weird. The oldest person in the world was born with a completely different set of humans. So true. And pretty amazing. The human brain is one of the most complex things known to men, according to the human brain, of course. We do put a lot of self-importance on ourselves. Here, I found this in a magazine, and I thought this was really fitting. We the people are greater than fear. So, I know that there's a lot of stuff happening in the States and in politics, so I thought this could be interesting. The devil is in the detail. We do attach a lot of importance sometimes to little details. This one here, it's a little cartoon, but it says, after he died, though clearly against hotel rules, I went into his room and just stood there and looked around. Sure, he was a self-sufficient guy, but I couldn't help thinking of the hundreds of nights spent here alone. And what about all those things left behind in that place? Did those relics make up a record of a man's life? So, what is a man's life? What is left behind? Could be interesting. This is about cheese. I thought that was cool too. Cheese, who is the guy who first said, let me drink what comes out of this cow when I squeeze it? Then who said, let me add an acid of some kind and eat whatever floats on top? Then who is the fool who said, I know, let's let the cheese mold and eat that? When you think about it, it's very strange, and we do eat weird stuff, but somebody did discover it. And here, talking about weird stuff, they were saying that maybe it was in a French article, and they were saying that maybe insects would be the next thing on our food chain. So I put some pictures there, and I actually put the recipe for the burger. So I don't know if he's going to want to try that, but you can think about it. If you're lucky, your internal organs will never see the light of day. Pretty true. And you're sure hoping so. Mars is the only known planet in our solar system solely inhabited by functioning robots. Yeah, and that man put there. L'argent fait-il le bonheur? So money, does money make happiness? And this is on a flyer that we get, and it's a store that a pound shop where you can leave your stuff and get some money out of it, and if you leave it long enough, they sell it. So that's fitting, I think, for this plundering. Then here, I love this image. Love this image. And so the difference between freedom and slavery is only one line, because one line makes it barbed wire. So pretty cool. Then something scary in choses épeurantes, so you can write about that. This, I'm hoping that he's not going to think that a chose épeurante is a skirt, but who knows. It was from a game. Imagine if trees gave off Wi-Fi signals, we would be planting many trees, so many trees, and we'd be probably save the planet too. Too bad they only produce the oxygen we breathe. Isn't that true? If there are ups and downs in your life, it means if there's no ups and downs in your life, it means you're dead. So very true, because heart monitor, ups and downs, things to think about. And every single choice you have ever made in your life has brought you to this exact moment, reading this exact sentence. Have a good day. So that's the end of it. So I hope you like this. Hope it inspires you to maybe do a type of journal like this, and you could write in it your thoughts about different things that make you ponder. And so if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave comments down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye, folks.